What's up guys, my name's Brandon, and this week has been a busy one for Apple. So on Monday, we got the public release of iOS 14.5, and then on Wednesday, we got a new AirPods Pro firmware update, which I did cover here on the channel. And then yesterday, on Friday, the AirTags, the purple iPhone 12, and iOS 14.6 Beta 2 were released. So yeah, there was a lot going on, but in this video, we're going to be discussing how iOS 14.5 and iOS 14.6 Beta 2 have been running for me and also for you guys. So we're going to talk about additional new features and changes, the battery life, the performance, and more. So let's start off by talking about some additional new features and changes here in iOS 14.6. And the first one has to do with the brand new AirTag. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this AirTag from my account and show you guys that there is a new emoji picker when setting up an AirTag here in 14.6. So we're going to go ahead and pair this AirTag right here. Let's tap on connect. And now we need to go down to custom name. And we're going to just name this whatever we want to. I'll just say, I don't know, backpack. Even though there's one for backpack, we're going to do this because the new feature is coming up next. And it's right here. Choose an emoji. So it says select an emoji to represent this AirTag. So it's going to make this AirTag, this specific one, more distinguishable amongst the other AirTags that you might have or other devices you might have. So I'm going to do this emoji right here, that new flame on the heart right there, and tap on continue. And now it's going to set it up, and you will see on the map here shortly what that looks like now that there is an emoji representing this AirTag. So as you can see on the screen right there, the AirTag is represented by that emoji. So that is a new feature here in iOS 14.6. Also new in iOS 14.6 is inside of the music application. You can't actually see this, but there is code in iOS 14.6 Beta 2 that hints at Apple working on a HiFi plan for Apple Music. So a high fidelity audio subscription plan is something that Apple is working on. Now, this was first reported by Hits Daily Double. So they said that Apple is working on this, and they're actually expected to announce it within the next coming weeks. So probably within the next month, we could be seeing this new HiFi support on Apple Music. So the subscription is apparently only going to cost $9.99 per month, which is the same price as regular Apple Music. So this is actually found in the code by 9to5Mac, and this kind of backed up the claims and the report that this HiFi subscription plan is coming to Apple Music. Now, also what's interesting about this report from Hits Daily Double is that they said third generation AirPods are coming with the announcement of this HiFi plan for Apple Music. So we could actually be seeing the third generation AirPods as soon as WWDC, and maybe even before the Worldwide Developers Conference, which is on June 7th. So the report does say in the coming weeks. It doesn't really specify the amount of weeks, but we can kind of take that and say that it's probably going to be at the Worldwide Developers Conference or just a little bit before. So that is something interesting. Of course, it's just a rumor, so we'll have to wait and see. But Hits Daily Double is known for being pretty accurate with their reports, and they don't report too many things. So that should be pretty interesting to see. And that code is just found here on 14.6 beta. Now, I also wanted to confirm that the message preview bug has in fact been fixed here on beta 2. So I know in my What's New video from yesterday that I did say that it's been fixed for like Instagram and Twitter, but over the past 24 hours, I have sent myself several links and sent others several different links, not just from Instagram or Twitter, and not one of them had an issue with the preview, the image, the metadata inside of that link. So thankfully, that's been fixed here on beta 2. Hopefully it does not get broken again in the future. And then also the music queue bug where the first song is not able to be moved has also been addressed here in beta 2. And that was pretty much fixed in beta 1 of 14.6 as well. But again, after time and time using it, I've not had it come up again one more time. Now, one thing that's actually not been able to process for me, or I have not been able to tell a difference in, is the battery recalibration. So this is going back to 14.5, and my iPhone XS Max here, my iPhone 11 Pro Max rather, is on 14.6 now, and the recalibration has still not completed. Now, this tells me that you have to use your phone a lot for the recalibration to take place, which would make sense. I mean, most people use their phone all throughout the day, and this is just the phone I kind of have sitting on the side just to talk about features for, but it's pretty interesting. Now, it's been a couple of weeks since I've had 14.5, the RC installed. So I would think that it would have been recalibrated by now, but it is still not. So I will keep you guys updated on this, but I have updated to 14.6 on this device and it's still recalibrating that battery. Now, as far as bugs on 14.6 go, I really don't have any bugs at all on 14.6. I mean, it's pretty crazy because 14.5 only had a few bugs, but 14.6 Now in the second beta, the only issues I had in the first beta were the messages previews and some other minor things. But in beta 2, I really don't have any bugs. I don't have any outstanding bugs. And I'm starting to use this now daily on my main device, and I've not noticed anything yet. So that is a really good sign. I do also want to say though that green tint is still there for some users. So multiple people did confirm that in my comment section and also on Twitter. So unfortunately, green tint is still not fixed here in 14.6 beta 2. Now, as far as the performance goes of 14.6 beta 2, I'm honestly liking 14.6 better than 14.5 right now. I mean, it's really that much better in terms of performance, and really the performance is the same. Like when you talk about raw performance, opening apps and things like that. But what makes me like 14.6 better is, number one, I don't have the AirPlay to HomePod issues that I have on 14.5. It's a lot more fluid when I want to play music on a HomePod from the AirPlay menu right here inside of music. So much better. Also, I don't have the music queue bug like I did in 14.5, and it drove me absolutely nuts for months. I don't have that. I don't have really any other issues here on 14.6 like I had in 14.5. So I'm going to be honest, I like 14.6 beta right now over 14.5, even though they're pretty similar in terms of just overall raw performance. I did also run another Geekbench here, and I got a 1583 on the single core and a 4133 on the multi-core, which is pretty good. It's not quite on 14.5's level, but again, that could just be because we are in a beta right now. But again, that doesn't really tell the whole story. They're going to be very similar overall when it comes to raw performance. Now, when it comes to battery life is also great here in 14.6 beta 2. It's the best one yet, obviously better than beta 1, but it's pretty much right on par with 14.5. I really have not been able to tell a single difference in on-screen or standby time or anything like that. So I'll keep you guys updated, of course, the more I use it, but right now feels about the same as 14.5 in terms of battery life. Now, I did also want to share some very interesting information about the app tracking transparency feature, which did become available starting with iOS 14.5. So according to App Figures, more than 10,000 applications in the App Store have enabled app tracking transparency, with roughly 20% of them being games. So the report says that they expect that number to grow much higher than 20% with time, because games do rely heavily on tracking user activity across the web and into other applications. Now, what's even more interesting is actually how some of these applications are pretty much tricking people into enabling them to track their activity. I mean, just look at these screenshots right here. So yeah, I just thought this was interesting. It's interesting information and kind of interesting data to share about this new feature, and kind of just to know that a lot of applications, especially mobile games, will try to track your activity and might even clickbait you with the pop-up to make sure you keep allowing them to track you. So I just found this very interesting and thought you guys would like to hear about this as well. And also, I know I mentioned it in previous videos, but if you were having this area grayed out in 14.5, it seems like that has been fixed server side. So if you were on 14.5 and this was all grayed out, Apple appears to have fixed that server side, and that should not be grayed out anymore. But if it still is for you, I would recommend updating to 14.6, because that's what originally fixed it for me. So now let's go over the community poll. So I did ask about this for iOS 14.5, just because most of you guys are currently running 14.5 right now. So I asked how it's been running for you so far, and you can see there that 65% of people said it's excellent with no annoying bugs and good battery life. 16% said good, just some minor bugs. 8% said not so good, buggy and bad battery life, and 11% said that they're on 14.6 beta. That's after 16,000 votes. I did post this at a really random time, so I didn't get as many votes as usual, but thank you to everybody who did vote in that. So now let's go ahead and read off some of these comments. So you can see a lot of people are not noticing any difference going from 14.4.2 to 14.5. So I take that as a good thing, because most people that had issues did notice an improvement in 14.5, but a lot of people just didn't have issues to begin with. So understandable there. You can see right here, Sebastian says, my 10R has been running like a champ. The only issue is that whenever I want to use my AirPods Pro, the audio does not come on my AirPods, but the issue is fixed by restarting and the battery drain is gone. I'm noticing more screen on time now than ever before. Best iOS update ever. So that is great news to hear there from Sebastian, and it seems like a lot of people agree with that as well. Still got an iPhone 10 and it's been smooth as butter. That's good to hear coming from the iPhone 10. 12 mini, great performance and good battery life on the 12 mini. And you can see here 14.5 running perfectly fine on the 10 as well. So a couple people running the iPhone 10 with good results. Everything is super fast and smooth, and battery life is amazing as well. Definitely the best iOS update we've had in a very long time. So very good to read. It's running good on pretty much all devices, it seems like. I really haven't seen anybody say specific device consistently is not running good. iPhone 8, which is starting to get pretty old, is working great. So as you can see there, more devices, just more variation of devices running this. I'm still having the issue with Music app, which the song I'm playing next list doesn't have 3-row line to drag and move when first opening the list. So that is the bug I've been talking about for a while here, and that is fixed in 14.6 beta. AirPlay to Apple TV has been very buggy, and the app tracking transparency feature is grayed out for me, even though it was working in beta 8. Otherwise, it's been running fine for me. Good battery life overall on my iPhone 7. So yeah, I would say to update to 14.6 beta or just wait for Apple to fix it server side. But for me, again, it did get fixed by updating to 14.6 beta 1, which of course you'll update to beta 2 if you do it now. Justin here says that his MagSafe animations still don't work for wallet accessories, and I have no clue why. So if you're having issues with that on 14.5, let me know in a comment down below, but I would assume that's fixed in 14.6 beta. I keep having issues with my AirPods. If I'm watching a video and get a phone call, the sound doesn't come back after I hang up. It takes a few seconds. So I have noticed that as well in previous versions. I don't think I've had that yet in 14.6, but some people are still having that issue there on 14.5. I'm just gonna read one more here. I had this annoying full screen Safari video bug for over a year. I completely forgot it's a bug until they fixed it with 14.5. So another good bug fix here in 14.5 with the full screen Safari video bug. So thank you to everybody who voted in this poll. I really do appreciate it. It definitely helps the whole channel out understand how these latest software versions are running for everybody and not just for me. So now let's talk about what is next. So we are now officially in May. So that means we're officially just about 1 month away from the next major version of iOS, which comes out in June every year. So on June 7th down here is when we will see iOS 15 beta 1. So that tells me that iOS 14.6 will most likely be out before the end of May. So I'm guessing that we'll see the final version of 14.6 on the week of the 17th or the week of the 24th. So that tells me that we'll probably see a new beta either late next week or on the week of the 10th. Early on the week of the 10th is when we will probably see 14.6 beta 3. Now, I think we're going to see 14.6, the final public release, on the week of the 17th or the 24th, because I think we will get it in time for the new iMac and new iPad Pros. I think this update is going to be out on pretty much the same day or maybe a day before those new products get released. So I would expect to see 14.6 before the end of May in preparation for iOS 15 beta 1 coming on June 7th. Now keep in mind, we will continue to get iOS 14 updates all throughout the year until September, and probably after that, honestly, but we will get updates all throughout, until September, until iOS 15 rather gets released to the general public. But that is what we can expect to see next from Apple. But of course, Apple is continuing to throw curveballs consistently, so who knows at this point. But anyways, guys, there you have it. That is this week's follow-up video on the latest software releases, iOS 14.5 and iOS 14.6 beta 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you enjoy these follow-ups in general, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. And of course, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss next week's follow-up. And of course, I will have more information about the next versions of iOS in those videos. But anyways, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.